The demand recovery is so for tires, it's always an organically growing demand. Um, so, like for us, the demand, if you look at the GDP of the country, it's rather sectoral. It's a K-shaped recovery. But of course, there's a very steep inflation at the same time, and there is a possibility that this inflation, or a worry that the inflation might destroy demand. So the fleets, if the fuel cost becomes untenable, and they are not able to pass it to the so all of us, the entire supply chain has to pass this inflation to finally it has to be borne by the consumer. Whether the consumer would reduce consumption or whether it would continue to consume at the rate at which it was. So that's a little bit of a worry, but so far demand is holding on a broader level. Like I explained, it's sectoral. The export demand is still very strong for us. OE is reviving as their chip shortage is getting under control. So we are seeing CV is also a cyclical business, so it's on the beginning of its upcycle. So that's good news for CV. In PV, there is the chip is getting the supply chain issues are getting eased off. Tractor is also reviving with a good monsoon forecast. The rural economy should also come back. Maybe it'll not come back to the level of last year, but still should be reasonably good. Yeah, so I was the ATMA chairman 4 years back as well.
Okay.
And this is my second tenure. So one is I want to pick up from where I left in terms of priorities. And at that point in time, we had started this whole journey of improving our exports. In fact, I was on record to say that the tire industry could be the poster boy for the Indian government as far as after the IT, where it can really hyperbole its exports. And I'm very happy to see when I look back that the exports have improved rather well. So I still feel that it's just the beginning. So we could do much more. So that's one of my priorities, to see that how do we enhance our exports significantly from even where we stand today. So that's one priority. The second priority is that a lot of regulations are in the annual for the vehicles, for the tires as well. And my idea would be to engage with all the stakeholders and get them fast-paced rather than going about it in a slow manner. Get all views on board, optimize it for the industry, for the government, and different stakeholders, and get them rollings, and a seamless transition for these regulations to which is for the betterment of all the stakeholders. So that's second priority. The third is the self-sufficiency point of the Indian rubber, which is a key priority of the Commerce Minister, Mr. Honorable Minister Goyal, to increase the deficiency that we face today, which is about 35-40%. Only Kerala is the only state producing. So some of us have come together on his behest and have contributed in terms of monetary terms to help the rubber board do serious plantations in the potential of Northeast. And that corpus has been formed. We have already 1 year of it has gone by. It's acronymed as Nimitra. So it's a collaboration between the tire industry and the rubber board under the aegis of and the directions of the Commerce Ministry. So we are very hopeful that our work that we put in is going to yield results, and India would be able to narrow this deficit between production and consumption. There has to be collaboration, but the collaboration has to be very finely defined. It cannot be cartelization. So the market forces have to be. So collaboration can always be on areas like larger subjects like sustainability, like looking at certain raw materials, where you can have some kind of research work like this rubber growth project, where we can all collaborate together. So those are the areas where a deeper collaboration will help the industry. But it cannot be to tackle inflation. That, of course, has to be left to the market forces. So the challenges is, again, of course, with the electrification, you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself for the changing regulatory framework. So those are all the organic challenges. The key challenge is right now for Indian manufacturing at large, Indian tire industry in particular, is the inflation. So in the short term, our balance sheet sizes have halved over last year. The profitability is reduced significantly. We're not able to, there's a phase lag to the cost push, and it's a significant phase lag. So those are the key challenges which we really need to take care in the short term. So like I said, the Indian tire industry has done human service to the country. I mean, almost everybody is now producing in the country. You have all the world majors who have come and are producing in the country, and therefore it is self-sufficient as far as tires is concerned. And to that extent, you do not technically require imports.
Okay.
From that point of view, of course, it's a free market. We welcome anyone and anybody to come in and play. The problem happens when the large market size that we offer to any manufacturer or any country, if we are used as a dumping ground.
Correct.
And everything that has been put into place, that the economic value of that gets destroyed, and the promise that we have for the Indian industry, that gets short-charged. Then that's the argument. So government has seen that, and not only Indian governments around the world have put trade barriers, duty measures against countries which have resorted to dumping. Like in my address, I was telling my colleague, other company which is planning to go to the US, do not go in the wrong way. I mean, go and set up and position the Indian product, Indian brand name in the right way. Do not spoil the market and get branded that you are the next cheap manufacturer after China. So that's if you go and do it that way, you are going to spoil it for everyone. And our case is that we can really do it the right way. That was the message. And so free, and that's the real. And we do have a cost arbitrage. So of course we can give a more honest price to the internationally and give a very good solution. Give tier 1 quality at, let's say, a tier 2 price. Okay. But if you were to position yourself at the bottom of the barrel, then you'll just spoil everything. So one regulation is on the anvil, which is the extended producer responsibility. The government is in the draft stage. So we are in discussion with the government. Fortunately, India's, by the nature of our country, there is a self sort of recyclability of any product and every product. Of course, it's in the unorganized segment, so we don't talk about it, we don't hear about it. But tire, I'm sure you have seen many tire products of your tires being used in soles of slippers and your cobbler in the street using something. So, I mean, it finds its own value. In India, no satellite pictures are available which shows dumps and dumps of tires, used tires lying anywhere. You don't. You will find that in the Middle East, for example. So in that sense, it finds its own value. But the government is organizing this whole thing, and extended producer responsibility is coming, and it'll be a far higher recyclability. Focus is more on renewable energy. Focus is on getting green raw materials. Focus is on also increase the usage of the recycled parts of the tire. The point is, even after the retrade, the casing is still left.
Yes.
So what do you do with that casing? So the government's idea is the casing, whether you use it for retrading, of course you extend the life, and it's definitely one part of the sustainability. It's for so see, that's what I'm saying. The regulation is how do you get all stakeholders' view.
Correct.
So if this is a view of the retrader, for example, it's a valid view. It needs to be discussed.